Hey everyone, I decided to make a short video tutorial just to show you how to connect on the same Mac, in our case Mac. You can use Windows, but it's going to be similar, almost the same way. But basically, how can you connect, in our case, the Reaper as a player, the music player that can also generate a timecode. So how can you send a timecode from Reaper on the same laptop into the MagicQ so you could pre-program your timecoded show? So first of all, before you continue, you need to make sure that your software is unlocked. For that, you need to have any ChamSys hardware, any blue hardware. So unless you have if you have only Magic DMX dongle, the USB dongle, that's not going to work. So anything above that, that means it's either the mini wing or rack mount dongles, they will unlock the software. Of course, if you have PC wings, etc., maxi wings, it will work. So basically, I will explain to you, I'll show you how you can um, make the whole connection. So I'll give you step-by-step instruction. So I have a MagicQ running, so regardless of whichever version it is, and it's out of the demo mode, so it's all good. I have prepared one of the Q stacks that has a time code written in. It's just a basic randomly done, so no worries about this. Then I have a Reaper. So Reaper is a free software. You can download it, and under evaluation license, you don't need to pay for it. But it's a nice piece of nice piece of software. If you want to use it commercially, I would recommend to buy. It's not that expensive. For a moment, I don't really need a license because I'm not using it. I'm only doing this for the benefits of explaining how the system works. So what I did is I just dropped my MP3 file of the one band where one of my friends is the lead singer in just that song. But what I will show you now is I will show you all the steps you need to make sure that the time code generated by Reaper connected to this song will be going into the MagicQ. Okay, so I dropped my file here. You don't need to change anything here. One of the first things you need to change here is, like here on the top, you might have a different lining here, the timing. So it could be different from mine. So if you want to make it right, you have to right click here and change here to the hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. So that will be equal to the normal time code that we are running. Then as you can double click to create a new track. And while you select the track, you can actually now go to insert and press SEMTI LTC MTC timecode generator. As soon as you click it, it's going to drop a piece of timecode. You move it here to the very beginning and then stretch it all the way till the end of the song. So let me just do it this way. Okay, now we've got the whole song and the timecode generator file are the same. So if you press the button, you hear a lot of noise like that. That's because by default, the timecode generator you dropped in is the LTC timecode, so SEMTI timecode. So what you do first is you right click on this, and then you go to the source properties. When you click on this, you see it says send audio LTC. We press here on the send MIDI MTC. The frame rate we're going to keep is 30 frames per second. We press apply and press OK. So the next thing here you need to do is you need to come to in the Reaper, you press Reaper, go to the preference. In the preference, you find the MIDI devices. And here in the MIDI output device, this will come up to, first of all, we need to go here and we need to create a virtual device. To do this, you go to your applications, and then we go to the others, And in the others, you'll find the one that's called MIDI, audio MIDI setup. So basically, it will look like this. It's called audio MIDI setup. So there's going to be the one that the virtual IAC driver. So if you don't see this window, you'll press Window. So in the audio MIDI setup, you press Window and press Show MIDI Studio. That opens that screen. And you double click on the IAC driver. And you can give any name you want, however you want to call it. You make sure you press plus to add one of the ports. So for example, by default, you're going to have something like that. So when you double click, you have something like that. So while having IEC driver named, you press plus and it adds IEC bus 1, and you must you have to make sure you press device is online. And as you've done, you press apply. So now you can put it down, put this one down as well. So now when you go into the Reaper, you press Reaper preferences, and in the MIDI device, you're going to find your Apple Inc. IAC driver, IAC bus 1, and it will be disabled. You right click on this and you say enable output. So it needs to be enabled here. You press OK. Now you go here in the Reaper, you go into root, and in the root, you have to click on the MIDI hardware output. You have to click on the output and select your virtual device. So basically what you're doing is you are creating a virtual loop, MIDI loop inside of the same PC or Mac. When you've done that, you can close that window and now go to the MagicQ. So in the MagicQ, first of all, you have to go to the Tools menu, go to the Select MIDI device, and by default it says Disable External Device. You untick it, select IAC driver, this is our virtual driver, and we press OK. Now we go to Setup, we go to the Midi Timecode. You remember in the Reaper I've set this as 30 frames per second. Now I have to change here, not 25, but 30, 70-30. And in the timecode decode, you change to USB MIDI because it creates a virtual MIDI port through sort of virtual USB. As soon as you click it, it will show you as a TC, which means timecode, and it will show you it shows me the old values that I had in the previous time I was running this. So now what you can do is press layout 1. Now, if you select your song, put it in the beginning, and as soon as you press play, you can see that your timecode is already running. It's similar to here. You can press spacebar, it jumps back to 0, and as soon as you press go, it starts again. So you can see it's quite easy and straightforward to set it up. Well, it's probably not as easy without actual explanation, but this is, I mean, if you follow everything I showed you, it would work for you. And just to show you, just to prove the concept that it actually works. So if I double click my Q stack, I will go to, okay, give me a second. So yes, of course it's external. Cool. So what I'm going to do is, it says here, it's waiting for the external timecode. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the timecode here, and I'm going to raise my Q stack. So you can see, as soon as the right time comes in, it changes the steps. It's just an example. press go again, and it starts from the beginning. So as you can see, it's not that difficult. So then you can kill it. So I hope it was useful for you. So I showed the example how to do it on the Mac. There are some virtual interfaces available for Windows as well. When I have my Windows laptop, I'm going to show it as well. I'm going to try to record it for the Windows as well. But this is for Mac users. So I hope it was useful for you. And if you'll have any questions, feel free to ask and enjoy. Thank you for watching and have a good day.